Okay, so this is a video on my dust collector that I bought from Harbor Freight. I was very tired of getting dust and wood chips all over my wife's car and my motorcycle and everywhere else, so I bought this dust collector from Harbor Freight. It was pretty inexpensive. It does pretty good. Zoom in on the induction motor specifications. So after using this for a couple of weeks, I got really tired of this bag filling up with sawdust. It's very hard to empty and to keep clean. So I did a little research and I saw some of these dust deputies on YouTube, and I decided to try one out, and so far I think it works pretty good. So I just built a little stand and mounted the dust collector, and I got it going straight down to the tornado dust deputy into a small little bucket. And this entry line here is what I hook up to my router when I want to run it. So I'll open up the bucket and kind of show how it's doing so far. I don't want to deal with any clamps, so I just use some duct tape here to make it bigger, and it just slides on and the suction keeps everything held on. It's really nice not to have to deal with clamps. Let's see what this baby's got in. So far it's collected a lot of stuff. I haven't cut a whole lot with it yet, maybe about hour and a half, 2 hours of light cutting, and that's what it's collected so far. And like I say, the bag is completely empty. Really easy to work, really easy to use. What I'll do is just roll this back. Got kind of like a little staging area back here. All I do is just hook up my hose to my CNC router and turn it on, and it works like a charm. What I'll do here pretty soon, I'll fire it up and get something going, and I'll come back and show you exactly how it looks like when it's running. So something else I want to show real quick before I fire it up and show you some test cuts with it. With the dust collector running is the dust boot that I made. I drafted it up and modeled it in Fusion 360 and put it in my 3D printer. This is all one piece here, minus of course the brush I got from McMaster-Carr. The magnets came from McMaster-Carr. The other piece pretty much just stays up on my spindle. It locks in, tightens up, it never comes off, and it's got some magnets up underneath it as well. See if I could do this with one hand. So you just pretty much just go up there and it snaps right on where it needs to be. Lower the hose down onto it. Again, I made it tight enough to where I don't have to mess with the clamp. The suction does good enough to keep it on, and it does really good. If you're thinking about designing one for yourself, just keep in mind, don't make it any much further than, you know, your spindle bracket here, or else you'll run into your extruded base here. That wouldn't be good, but all in all, I think it's a good design, and it works really well for me. So on to the test cuts. Okay, so here we are. We're going to make some test cuts. I just made some pockets. I think it's going to cut 5 of them out of this piece of wood. I picked a real big pocket, something that's going to be much bigger than my dust boot, just to see how it's going to react. I cut one just to test it out. It was a little bit too deep. I was shanking out. My flutes aren't that deep on this 1/2 inch end mill, so I raised it up a little bit. But what we'll do, we'll start it on the second one. The second one hasn't been started yet. I just got it on feed hold. So what we'll do, we'll turn on the good old dust collector here. As you can see, as you can hear, it's not that loud. The router itself isn't too loud, but once it starts cutting, it might get a little loud. I'll probably just let it do one level while I'm recording, then I'll stop and I'll pick it up again after it's all done and show you the end results. So let me hit cycle start. Here we go. leaving just a little bit behind. With such a big pocket, it's not really fully sealed up with the brushes. But this is still a lot better than throwing chips all over the garage. So I'm going to pause it here, and I'll pick it back up after it cuts all 5 pockets, and we'll see what it leaves on the table. Okay, so here we are back one more time. We got all 5 pockets cut. It took, let's see, right at 45 minutes and 44 seconds. And this is what the dust collector left behind. A little bit down in the pocket. I kind of expected that because, like I stated earlier, the dust boot is a lot smaller than the pocket. But all in all, it contained it really good. It's not all over my garage. It's not all over my work little computer and my motorcycle, and pretty much it did really good. I'm kind of impressed for the amount of money that I paid for it at Harbor Freight. I think it did really well. And this is I've already got it broken open, but I just wanted to show how much is in here now. It's well over half full now, where before it didn't hardly have any in it. Normally all of this would be all over my garage. And I would be cleaning up for like an hour. So all in all, I think it's good. I give it 2 thumbs up for the price. Hope you enjoyed it.